Mimic draws profound inspiration from Japanese folklore and urban legends, particularly the Shinto mythological system and the supernatural beings that inhabit the Japanese worldview. The central entity Sama is inspired by Izanami no Mikoto, the goddess of death and the underworld in Japanese mythology, ruler of Yomi, the realm of the dead. The figure of Mayo, with her eerily elongated neck, evokes the image of the Rokurokubi, a well-known yokai, supernatural creature in Japanese culture. The setting of the ancient palace, labyrinthine corridors, and exorcism rituals all trace their roots to the tradition of Onryo, vengeful spirits and purification rites within Shinto. Yasu Masashige returns to his old high school, La Quinta Aztecs, to find his missing group of friends. This is not merely a flight from monsters, but a journey to peel back the layers of deception where ancient entities lie in wait to manipulate and suffocate the final flickers of hope. A dense fog swallows La Quinta Aztecs High School, transforming familiar hallways into a maze of isolation and dread. Yasu enters his past with a singular purpose: to find the friends who vanished without a trace. But the silence is terrifying, broken only by echoes of footsteps that suggest he is being watched by eyes lurking in the shadows. Paranormal activity surges. Yasu catches a glimpse of Yachi's silhouette in a classroom before being led through a desolate village to encounter an entity known as Chi. The safety of reality is torn asunder as the protagonist faces monsters prowling every corner of the institution. The search leads to a strange elevator, a non-logical transition point between two worlds. Instead of another floor, it plunges into unknown depths where an ancient palace, a creation of the entity Sama, looms. The existence of an ancient palace beneath a modern school signifies a long-standing invasion of the spirit realm into the physical world. After escaping a bizarre hotel and facing entities at Arari, Yasu ventures deeper into this majestic yet decaying structure. The environment shifts from the sterile architecture of the school to the suffocating opulence of a cursed dynasty, where reason begins to buckle under the weight of the inexplicable. Inside the palace, the dark secrets of the Masashige bloodline begin to surface through warped corridors. Yasu confronts Mio, a terrifying long-necked woman, while disembodied voices whisper of the fate of his missing friends. The palace's interior defies physical laws, forcing the protagonist to navigate floating islands and face aggressive samurai in dark tunnels. Sama does not destroy the intruder immediately. Instead, she begins a calculated guidance. Appearing as a guide through the nightmare, Sama leads Yasu out of the suffocating palace toward a vast ocean. This transition from enclosed spaces to the infinite void of the sea brings no sense of freedom. Rather, it cultivates an intense unease. Based on Sama's behavior, it can be inferred that she is fulfilling a ritual or a deal in which Yasu is the final piece. The shadows of the past and family secrets intertwine, signaling that this journey is not just a search for the missing, but a confrontation with a preordained curse. A pitch-black sea waits with a solitary boat, the only means for Yasu to venture into the void. This journey across the water is not just geographical. It is an intrusion into Sama's dark memories and past. Fragments of the deal she made begin to manifest through disjointed sounds and images. After completing the skull maze, a twisted structure built from the ashes of the defeated, Yasu faces trials at a lake designed by Sama herself. The atmosphere reaches a point of total suffocation as the whispers of spirits envelop every sense within the Ancestor Hall. Upon unlocking the final door, an instantaneous teleportation occurs, whisking Yasu away from the Forgotten Kingdom and hospitals filled with haunting dolls. The protagonist finds himself standing at his own front door. Reality seemingly returns with the stillness of everyday life. However, this piece is a fragile shell. A sense of abnormality, a shift in the air, and subtle discrepancies within the house confirm that home is no longer a sanctuary. Yasu's instinct and reason clash violently as he realizes the darkness was never left behind. It followed him to his doorstep, turning a familiar space into a lethal psychological trap. The front door opens to a horrific reality as Yasu witnesses his mother hanging in her bedroom, a sight that rips away all hope of salvation. In nightmare mode, this image may shift to his father, but the psychological devastation remains equally brutal. The home transforms into a psychological prison with doors that slam shut automatically, forcing the protagonist into the dark basement. Beneath the earth, a giant lake filled with moving Toko mannequins appears, turning the escape into a breathless game of survival against soulless yet murderous objects. Escaping the basement, reality warps again, returning Yasu to the beginning, La Quinta High School. Here, the task of collecting butterfly spirits serves as the final preparation for the ultimate confrontation. The journey leads Yasu into the cursed Kusunoki forest, where the air is thick with ancient hatred. To purge the curse strangling his family, Yasu must find and burn the cursed accessories in a fire of purification. The final confrontation takes place within Sama's seal. To end the cycle of tragedy, Yasu must destroy the entity's beating hearts, an act requiring absolute rational resolve to overcome primal fear. This is the moment where the line between humanity and instinct is blurred, forcing the character to make a final choice under the gaze of ancient gods. The final choice reflects the depths of human nature according to Kintoru's philosophy. In the good ending, by deciding to kill Sama, Yasu releases the controlled spirits and restores a semblance of normal reality for his family. However, the evil god's mockery of Kintoru, calling him a useless tool, suggests the player is merely a pawn in a larger game played by supreme entities. Conversely, in the bad ending, if led by the instinct to save the parents, Kintoru's trap snaps shut with a taunt about the gullibility of mankind. Wonderful, another one added to my collection. Humans are so easy to deceive. The entirety of Book 1 is an autopsy of humanity. Humans differ from animals in their right to choose irrational behaviors, and art is the product of that choice. Sacrificing oneself or confronting transformed loved ones are acts that go against survival instincts, yet they serve as the highest evidence of free will. The game is not just a horror experience. It is a test of whether reason is strong enough to break the shackles of instinct and the manipulation of forces that view humans as mere collectibles.